This is No BS Job Search Advice Radio, episode 2624. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. People started to call me the Big Game Hunter when I still did recruiting. I'd hunt down leaders and staff for organizations, did that for a heck of a long time successfully, and filled a lot of positions plus consulting assignments. Now people hire me for no BS coaching and career advice globally because I make things easier for people with their job search, with hiring more effectively, managing and leading better, dealing with workplace issues, and so much more. And if you've ever been on an interview and you look across the desk, or you've ever been on camera and you're looking at that person in the box opposite you, every once in a while, you know they don't believe you, or you're not sure if they believe you. And today's show is one where I talk with you about some of the signals that they can use to tip that off to you. Hope you find this helpful and give the show a great review wherever you listen to it or watch it, and we'll be back in just one moment. When you're in an interview, you want to make a great impression and communicate your skills and experience in a way that they get you. But what if they aren't? And they're responding, shall we say, poorly to what you have to say. In this video, I'm going to go through 8 body language signs that suggest they're rejecting what you're saying. I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. People hire me for no BS career advice and coaching globally. That can relate to a job search, hiring more effectively, managing and leading better, career transitions, dealing with workplace issues, because I make everything a lot easier for people. So let's go through a couple of these signals that suggest the interviewer isn't buying what you're saying. The first one is frowning or wrinkling their forehead. It's a sign of confusion or disagreement, that they may not agree with what you're saying and may be struggling to follow your point. So, if you wind up seeing someone who is wrinkling their forehead or is frowning, that could be what they're telling you. Second thing is avoiding eye contact altogether. They're just not making eye contact. It could be a sign that they're not interested or engaged in what you're saying. They may be avoiding contact or eye contact to avoid giving you false hope or appearing to agree with you. Closed off body language. Now, the classic thing that people believe is that if someone sits with their arms crossed in front of them, that they're keeping their legs tightly together or not facing you at all, it could be a sign that they're not open to what you're saying. But that may not be completely true. As a woman named Susan Ibitz, who's a body language expert, said to me in an interview, it could mean that they're cold and they're trying to stay warm, or they're embarrassed as a woman that they're exposing parts of their anatomy through their blouse that is making them uncomfortable. So you kind of have to take that one with a grain of salt and just be aware of the surroundings and what might be causing them to not to close themselves off. Leaning away is the next one. If the interviewer is leaning away from you, it could be a sign that they're uncomfortable with what you're saying or trying to distance themselves from your point of view. I love this one. Fidgeting or nervous movements. If they're fidgeting or making nervous movements, such as tapping their foot or playing with a pen, it could mean that they're uncomfortable or anxious. It could also be a sign that they're not buying what you're saying. A tight-lipped smile is next. A smile with closed lips could be a sign of insincerity or polite agreement. If the interviewer is not fully engaged with what you're saying but still wants to be polite, they may smile with their lips pressed together. Another example is interrupting you. If they're interrupting you frequently, it could be a sign that they're just not interested in what you're saying or are eager to move on to the next question. Lastly for today, if they're asking leading questions, designed to steer the conversation in a different direction than you intended, it could be a sign that they're not interested in your perspective because leading questions are designed to influence your response and can be a tactic used to challenge or discredit what you're saying. So I'll just simply say these are a number of examples of body language that an interviewer could display if they're rejecting what you're saying. Keep them in mind because these are cues you should be reading in context and not using as the sole basis for determining the outcome of an interview. It's important to use your intuition, pay attention to their verbal cues, and prepare thoroughly for the interview. Of course, I hope you found this helpful. Visit my website, thebiggamehunter.us. There's a ton in the blog that can help you. Plus, you can schedule time for a free introductory call, which I call a discovery call, schedule time for coaching, find out about my video courses, books, and guides. Again, there's a lot there to help. Also, at the website, you can schedule time for trusted advisor services, where if you have questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. Lastly, connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/The Big Game Hunter. Have a terrific day and be great.